We live in a world made of agreements, most of them invisible, all of them fragile. You wake up, and the ground beneath your feet feels solid, the sky above you feels real, and the people around you seem to exist in the same universe you do. But underneath that calm surface, something far stranger hums. None of it is entirely real. The world you inhabit is not the world itself, but a collective hallucination, a carefully coordinated dream your mind shares with billions of others. It's not that reality doesn't exist, it's that we never touch it directly. What we touch instead are symbols, layers of meaning and language that approximate the real thing just enough to keep us alive. You say tree, and I nod as if we've understood each other, but the image in your mind and the one in mine are not the same. What keeps our world coherent isn't truth, it's agreement. The lie that built reality isn't deception, it's synchronization. For most of human history, survival depended on this synchronization. Hunter-gatherers didn't need truth in the philosophical sense. They needed a shared model of the world that worked. When one person yelled, "Tiger," everyone ran, even if there wasn't time to verify the claim. The illusion saved lives. The correctness of the belief mattered less than its coordination. We evolved not for accuracy, but for consensus. Reality, as far as the human animal is concerned, is a team project. But here's where the paradox begins. Our ability to coordinate truth through illusion eventually made us capable of reflecting on it. Language gave us shared symbols. Consciousness let us question them. And once we began to question them, the entire structure started to tremble. Because what happens when a species built on shared fictions starts to wonder which of its fictions are real? Philosophers have wrestled with this question for centuries. Plato called our perceptions shadows on the wall of a cave. Kant argued that we can never access the thing in itself, only the filtered version delivered by our senses. Modern neuroscience agrees. Our brains are not mirrors of the world. They are prediction machines, generating simulations of what we expect to see, and then adjusting those simulations based on sensory error. We live not in the world as it is, but in the world as it is useful to perceive. This predictive brain is astonishingly efficient. It edits reality like a film director, cutting out everything that doesn't serve the story of survival. Your blind spots, both literal and metaphorical, are features, not bugs. You see what helps you act, not what is true. When you look at a tree, your mind doesn't show you the billions of atomic interactions. It shows you something to sit under, something to climb, something that gives shade. The physics of the universe is replaced by the poetry of utility, and this is where the great lie becomes indistinguishable from life itself. The illusion doesn't merely protect us, it defines us. Civilization is an intricate ecosystem of shared untruths. Money, law, morality, nations, even time. These are inventions that only function because enough people agree to pretend they are real. You can't hold justice in your hand or weigh value on a scale. Yet these abstractions move armies, build empires, and dictate the rhythm of every human life. Consider money, a coloured piece of paper that can feed a family or start a war. Its power lies not in its substance, but in the faith we've collectively woven into it. Without that shared hallucination, it's just pulp. But with it, it becomes civilization's bloodstream. The same is true for every concept we hold dear: identity, purpose, progress. They are all narratives we've built and maintained through repetition, tradition, and collective will. The lie is not malicious. It is adaptive. But with adaptation comes consequence. As our shared illusions became more elaborate, so did our dependencies. We now live in a reality so mediated by stories that we can hardly survive without them. Remove the myth and the organism panics. We claim to want truth, but most truths are too raw to hold. The brain filters them, softens them, clothes them in metaphor. In this way, fiction becomes compassion. The lie becomes a form of mercy. You can see this mercy everywhere. When a parent comforts a child with a story about heaven, when a culture invents gods to explain thunder, when a society creates meaning to endure suffering, each story adds a layer of insulation between consciousness and chaos. The illusion gives shape to what would otherwise be unbearable, the infinite randomness of existence. But the price of this comfort is blindness. Every illusion that stabilizes us also confines us. Beliefs become cages disguised as shelters. A nation becomes a myth of belonging that separates us from those who don't share it. Morality becomes a scaffolding of rules that both protect and restrict. Even love in its idealized form becomes a projection. We fall not for who someone is, but for who our illusions allow them to be. Still, without these illusions, there would be nothing left to call life. This is the paradox. The more clearly we see the lie, the less stable our reality becomes. Remove too many layers of illusion, and you reach the edge of coherence. Psychologists call it derealization, the terrifying sensation that nothing is real. Philosophers call it enlightenment. The line between madness and awakening is thinner than we like to admit. So what should we do? Should we strip away the illusions and face the void, or keep pretending for the sake of survival? Perhaps the answer is not to destroy the lie, but to see it consciously, to live inside the story while knowing it's a story. Awareness does not have to dissolve meaning, it can refine it. When you know that the world is built on fictions, you begin to participate in them differently. You become both actor and audience. Reality, then, is not a static truth waiting to be uncovered, but a living conversation between imagination and agreement. Every belief we hold, from the personal to the cosmic, is a vote in that conversation. To live is to believe just enough to function, but not so much that you mistake the map for the territory. The lie that built reality was never an error. It was an act of creation. The mind invented coherence, and the world played along. What we call truth is merely the point where enough illusions overlap. The rest is mystery, the darkness between spotlights, the silence between thoughts, the place where reality itself still flickers unfinished. And maybe that's the only real freedom we have, to see the lie clearly and keep believing anyway. To understand that our stories are scaffolds, not prisons, because without them, the world collapses into noise. With them, it becomes music. So the next time you wake up and feel the solid ground beneath your feet, remember, it isn't the truth that holds you there. It's the web of shared illusions, fragile, invisible, and sacred, that we keep spinning together to make reality real.